Hey guys, Bella here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my Merch by Amazon sales for the whole year of 2019. So as you can see, I sold right at $5,704 in royalties worth of shirts. So my shirt sales were 1,616 sales. So overall, I think that this year was pretty productive given the amount of time and energy that I put into it. My average monthly income up here, I calculated it was $475 a month on average. Now we have to account for this huge outlier in December where I did $1,287 and November was $777. But if you take a look here, you can see as I roll over these that I'm averaging around $350 a month for normal months, and then fourth quarter months sales shot up quite a bit. But I want to talk about kind of what went well this year, and obviously there were a lot of changes with Merch by Amazon, as I think there will continue to be, but I do not think merch is dead. I feel like merch has changed significantly since I've started back in 2017. However, I do think it's still a viable option, especially when you consider how much money you can make without putting in a whole lot of your own money, and this is kind of a low barrier to entry business to start. So compared to last year, 2018, I really saw a drop in sales. I think it was around $4,000 less that I actually got. Yes, I have it written down over here. So that is, that's unfortunate, but it's just how it is. Especially when you consider that there are so many people competing now. You have to get better, or you basically get pushed out. And I mean, of course, that's annoying. But then again, that is, the American way. So it forces people to get better or not make money. And I think that that's ultimately good for the customer. So let's take a look at what happened in 2019. So of all the unique products sold, I have sold 285, so 9.1% for the entire year, which I thought was pretty interesting and pretty good actually, because I have so many designs that I uploaded on long sleeve v-necks, pop sockets, that I feel like I wasted a lot of slots because I was trying to fill my slots too quickly. And I think that maybe this year I'm going to focus more on just putting up quality shirts and getting them ranked before I try to upload, because the quality of your uploads is really important. That's something that I wish I would have realized earlier, is like to sit down and really research the design before I create it, because you waste so much time if you just start going with whatever you want to design. It really needs to be something that is properly researched before you spend um, time making it, honestly. Okay, so let's go down a little bit. So 65% of total sales here was a standard shirt, and then 19% of sales is a premium shirt, and then actually pop sockets accounted for 11% of total sales. So that is pretty interesting. Has sold, let's see, 33 sweatshirts. So that is actually pretty good, considering those are just, something that not a lot of people sell a whole lot of. 21 long sleeve shirts, 12 v-necks, 8 tank tops, and 5 raglans. So raglan, you can hear my southern accent come out. Okay, so most of the shirts were black, and then we can see some asphalt, heather blue, cranberry, and so on and so forth. So you can see I have a pretty diverse color palette here that is selling. It really depends on the design for me, and sometimes if it's a cool design, I'll upload separate listings for each color, because I don't want one thumbnail to show up with one color. I want to have several different options, so when the customer clicks on that particular page, they can go ahead and see all the colors offered, because a lot of times they won't click on that design if the color is not the color that they were wanting, because they don't realize that they could actually get different colors. So that is a tip for you. I don't know if I've ever said that before, and obviously it makes sense. If you are, just a random customer, the average customer on Amazon does not understand what is going on at all. Like, so that's, and that's not their job to understand, but we just have to we have to target them in a way that makes sense to them, not necessarily makes sense to us. Okay, so scrolling down a little bit, and I've got a little bit of a scratchy throat, so sorry about that, guys. It's that time of year, and I feel like my ear and throat all the way down are just kind of like, there's something in there, something going on there. This is cool. Okay, so my top shirt for the year was my same top shirt last year, but it made me $629, you guys. So $629 from one shirt. That is freaking awesome. So my second bestseller was $319, so that's still really, really good. And those are both evergreen. The third bestseller was a pop socket, and that made me $252 for one pop socket. Same pop socket I've been selling all year. So think if you could just do 4 pop sockets like this, you could make $1,000 a year off of a freaking pop socket. This is a tiny little thing. So just, upload and don't get super discouraged. My fourth bestseller here, that made me $196. That is another evergreen shirt. And my fifth was also an evergreen shirt, made me $157. And looks like the sixth here was a Christmas design, made me $141. The sixth shirt, I have notes here that I made because obviously I can't show my bestsellers, but the sixth shirt made me $133, and it is only 3 words, a text-based shirt, just 3 words. So I thought that was super cool because you don't have to be a graphic designer to make money doing this. You really just have to be a good researcher and create relatively decent designs, and you don't have to do graphics. You could just do text if that's what you want to do, but I would encourage you to get into purchasing commercial graphics if possible. And while I'm on the subject, if there is anything about merch that you feel like I could make a video specifically about, please leave it in the comment section, because I've covered a lot on this channel, but some things need to be repeated because people don't go through my entire video discography, and I understand that because merch has changed a lot. So if there's something that you want to hear about for 2020 merch, please just go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. And also, if you don't mind, give this video a thumbs up so it will rank higher and have slightly better relevancy. So just carrying on, I wanted to talk about how you can basically have a side hustle that makes you a couple $1,000s a year. Like for this side hustle, that's what I considered it. I consider it a side hustle, not a full-time gig. So if you want to have a side hustle that makes you $5,000 to $6,000 a year, you need to find a way to make $15 a day with it. So if you break it down to $15 a day, think about it. You can find something that will sell and make you $15 a day, but you have to reverse engineer that. So if you find a side hustle that makes you $15 or $16 a day, basically what's going to happen is you're going to get an extra $5,000 to $6,000 per year. So if you do this 4 times with 4 different businesses, small businesses, then you added $20,000, $20,000 to $24,000 to your yearly income. So this is kind of how I look at running my businesses. I think about what is the lowest effort and the highest return. And being in business, I have a lot of different things that I want to do, and I can get sidetracked so easily. But I feel like you have to really remember that this is what I do for a living. This is not some hobby or passion project. My time is better spent doing what I make the most money at for the least amount of time, and what causes me the less stress and less hassle. So that's kind of how I try to look at it. So this year in 2020, I really am going to focus more on how can I sit back from this and see how this runs, and with everything that I do, how can I, remove myself from the equation a little bit more each and every day. Okay, so the return rate for the whole entire year, I calculated, was 7.85%. So you see we have 127 returns. So pretty high of a return rate, 7.85%, but no higher than any other seller, I don't guess. So with making $475 a month on average, I don't know if you guys know about the minimum wage in Alabama, but it's the lowest in the freaking whole entire United States. The minimum wage where I live is $7.25 an hour. So obviously I don't work for that. Like, I would laugh in their face, but some people have to work for that. Some people don't have a choice because of, there's whatever their situation. And so what I calculated was my average merch sales, it would take me 65 hours working minimum wage to make that same amount in the same month. So to me, it is definitely something that I know I did not put 65 hours into. At best, I would put an hour a day into it. So, that's something that I feel like needs to be discussed, because if you are making not very much money and you can make an extra couple $100s a month, that really makes a huge difference. So all these bigger people who are complaining about not making any sales, it's frustrating to me because it makes other people not want to do it. And I just don't think that they've ever had to decide between paying an electric bill or buying groceries. So this can make all that difference. So if you are hesitant about starting it, I would just sign up for the account and don't worry too much about it, and just see what you can do with it, because there are free programs for designing. There are programs that cost as little as $7 to $10 a month that I'll tell you about here in a second. But I think that overall this is something that just looking at the southern states, if you make this kind of money, Georgia, wow, Georgia's 725 as well. I did not know that. Mississippi, I think that this is doing, let's see. Wow. So I actually found out that if they don't have if they don't have their own state mandated minimum wage, that basically they have to go by the federal law, which is 725. So that's why you see so many of these at 725. Now, certain states, like more progressive states, have made their own minimum wage, like Washington's 11.50. And I know this is kind of off topic for Merch by Amazon, but I really wanted to bring this up because I just want to stress the importance of creating a side hustle, any side hustle, you guys. This is something that if you put enough time and energy into it, it can really improve your quality of life because you're not spending so much of your time at a job. The reason that I don't like jobs is because it literally is buying your time, and we have to put time into everything. That's how basically our human economy works. But we want to see how little of our time we can put in to get the most amount of money. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring this up. Another point I would like to discuss while we're on the subject of money and time. So in the Philippines, a $500 salary supports decent living standards. So what this means is that you should consider the fact that you could hire a designer to work for you full time in the Philippines or part time for very little money. And that's not just the Philippines, that's literally everywhere. But a lot of people who are very successful on merch have outsourced their designing. And this makes total sense because if you're a one man or one woman operation, you only have so much time that you can design, time that you can research, time that you can upload, and also live your life and all the other things. So if you have a team of, 2 or 3 people working part time for you, that is extremely, extremely valuable. So this is just kind of the salary. And another point that I wanted to bring up is check this out. So if you if you want to go live in the Philippines, you can probably live off of your Merch by Amazon salary. That is one thing that I wish more people in the United States really talked about is going and living outside the United States. It's extremely cheap, but the way that we are brought up is kind of like this is life, this is home. One thing that I noticed when I traveled was that other countries or people from other countries travel a whole lot more than we do to other places. And for us, we travel to different states, but we rarely leave the United States. So I thought that was kind of an interesting juxtaposition between people who are from America and from other places. So yeah, I guess in conclusion, it was a pretty decent year. Wasn't a great year. I think that the thing that made all the difference was staying in contact with people who basically are doing the same thing, kind of watching comments on other things, seeing what to do, what not to do. I will say I got a ton of rejections this year, which was kind of strange, and I heard that from a lot of other people. So something to watch out for. But I mean, I have a lot of rejections, and hopefully my account doesn't get shot down. But I have a lot of rejections, so don't freak out if you get some. I will show you the program that I use to design is PicMonkey. It's $7.99 a month. This is literally all that I use. You can do so much with this program, and it's really user friendly, and you can upload your own fonts into it, so you can kind of do whatever. What I do is I go in and make a 450 by 540 rectangle here, and then I will use this thing called resize PNG thing, and it will allow you to resize 15 images at once for free. So it just kind of speeds up that process. And then I use this site called PNG Tree to get files from. It's unlimited commercial use files, and I think I have a video about that, so you guys can hear about that. But yeah, I use this, and then I just use my brain. So overall, Merch by Amazon in 2019, not horrible. 2020, I feel like we'll see about the same amount of sales. It may drop off a little bit because I don't know how much time I'll necessarily devote to it. I put a lot of time in fourth quarter getting some designs uploaded because I knew that would pay off. And I think that overall, I just want to share with you guys that making these videos is really something that I enjoy doing, and hopefully you get a little bit out of it. If you do, please hit the thumbs up button and comment with your plans for 2020 if you have anything that you're going to start doing that is a side hustle, because I just love hearing about that. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully your year is off to a great start.